Welcome to Vintage Variety. Today I'll be showing the remaining jewelry that I thrifted over the holidays, and I will also be showing the non-jewelry items that I managed to thrift. This is the second part of my haul that I thrifted while I was out of town visiting family between Christmas and New Year's. Visited a couple of different thrift stores. The haul that I showed last week was from one, and this is from the second thrift store that I visited. One thing that really caught my eye were these earrings. Now, these aren't vintage, but they do have a Art Nouveau-esque style to them, and I thought these were just gorgeous. I love the color. So I went ahead and picked these up. I also picked up this beautiful vintage mother of pearl brooch. This one is really a stunner, and look how it catches the light. Next up, this was something that I ran across that I looked at twice, because at first glance, these simply looked like your normal run-of-the-mill modern earrings, but they are not. These can be worn as screwbacks or clip-ons. They're very heavy because all of these beads are glass beads. Aren't those gorgeous? These would just make a beautiful statement. I love the design of them. They have that filigree look and a beautiful color combination with the fuchsia colored rhinestones, yellow beads, and pink beads. Next up, I picked this beautiful long glass bead necklace up. Isn't that gorgeous? It's individually knotted between all of the beads. I love the colors, the combination of the champagne beads with the glimmer to them and the beautiful off-white bead. This necklace also came with a pair of earrings. Here's a look at this on the form. This is a very long necklace. It could be worn long, or it could be doubled up like I've done here, or combined with other beads or even gold chains. The last item that I chose was this. Don't think that this is vintage, and you can see that it has someone's monogram on it. Usually I don't pick up things like this, because who wants to go around wearing a necklace with someone else's monogram on it? But I absolutely loved the torque on this necklace. So a lot of thoughts ran through my head. The first thought was I could always remove the pendant and put a different pendant on this necklace. My second thought was that I could remove the center out of this pendant and replace it with something else. The only problem with that is it is kind of an odd shape. It's almost in the shape of an egg. So I'm not sure that I would find anything else that would fit in the center of this. Either way, the torque is absolutely gorgeous, and I will most likely end up taking this part off. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. Here's a look at this one on the form. I really love the modern look of this torque. It looks very artisan. Not too crazy about the pendant, but you know, I have quite a few different pendants that would look absolutely fabulous on this. I asked you guys in last week's content if any of you would be interested in seeing the non-jewelry items that I had thrifted. A few of you mentioned in the comments that you would, so that's what we're going to have a look at now. Jewelry is one of the main things that I look for when I visit thrift stores, but I also enjoy thrifting fashion items such as clothing and accessories and decorative items for my home. Some of the items that I thrift for myself. A lot of my clothing is thrifted, and other items I thrift to resell on eBay. This is something that I've never thrifted before. These are all vintage patterns. I love just about anything that's vintage. I thought these were really neat, and my thought process was vintage clothing is very popular. A lot of people like to wear vintage clothing, and there are people that also like to make their own reproductions of vintage clothing. I'm going to list them on my eBay store, and if they don't sell, then I'll know that this is not a good item to buy. This first pattern, I believe, is for doll clothing. You can tell that it's very old. It looks like the jacket that it goes in is starting to deteriorate. I don't see a date anywhere on this pattern, so I may do a little research before I list it on eBay. I'll also open it up, go through it, see if any pieces are missing, and if so, when I list it, I will put that in the listing for the buyer to see. I thought this would be a neat item for anyone that collects dolls, or makes doll clothing. This pattern is for little girls' hats, and this one does have a date on it. This pattern is from 1965, so it is quite vintage. In fact, it's older than I am. This is an apron pattern, and it doesn't have a date on it anywhere, but if I had to guess, I would say 1950s maybe. You can see the original price on this was 15 cents. I do not believe that this has all of the pattern pieces in it. So what I will do, once again, before I list it, I will take photographs of everything, look through it, and put all of that information in the description for any potential buyers. I believe that this one is my favorite of all of the patterns that I thrifted. This is for an Edwardian tucked blouse. The date on this pattern is at the bottom, and it is for 1988. And I already had a peek inside. This pattern has never been cut, so it doesn't have any missing pieces. This is a Kim and Cami brand blouse. This is 1X. Usually I have better luck selling the larger sizes on eBay. I don't necessarily shop for large sizes only, but anytime I run across something that I like, that I think's really nice or very pretty, such as this blouse, I usually pick it up to list in my eBay store. What really drew me to this blouse were the sleeves. These are made of a mesh, kind of transparent style material. I love the embroidery work on them, and I also like the black color because, as we all know, black goes with just about anything. This crocheted short-sleeved shell or sweater, whichever one you would prefer to call it, is an extra large, and the brand is In Touch. I thought this would be a great item for spring or summer. It would look perfect worn over a sundress, a tank top, a t-shirt, or even a simple blouse. These pants are a size 14 and they are by J. Crew. I really like the way these are made. I liked the material. It does have some stretch to it. These are ankle length or cropped, as some people might like to refer to them. I thought they were in really great condition, so I decided to go ahead and pick these up also. This blouse is a size medium, and it is by Free People. It still has its original tag on it, and someone paid $88 for this. I really like the colors in this blouse. It is a net type material. It has ruching on the front and also on the sleeves. I thought this was a really good find, so I decided to go ahead and pick this up to list it on eBay. I did purchase one pair of shoes. Shoes sell relatively well for me on eBay. These are Crocs sandals, and they're in really good condition. By the looks of them, whoever owned them only wore them a few times. I have sold this brand before on eBay, so hopefully these will sell also, and these are a size 8. I was also lucky enough to find this purse by Coach. I hesitated on purchasing this because Coach bags are not selling for me very well at all on eBay. In fact, I have one listed right now that hasn't sold. My guess is perhaps they aren't as popular as they once were. The reason I decided to go ahead and pick this one up is because I do own a couple of Coach bags. They're canvas. I don't own one that's leather like this one. So worst case scenario, if I list it on eBay and it doesn't sell, I can always use it for my own personal use. This purse is in fairly good shape. There's minimal wear on the outside, as you can see here. But for the most part, not bad at all. It also has its original key tag hanging on it right here. So I thought that was great. On the inside, there is some staining. It looks as though someone spilt something inside the purse, but I'm going to attempt to get that out with a washcloth just dampened with warm water. If it doesn't come out, I still think it was a good find. The last item I'm going to show you guys is this cute little creamer. I believe this was either a creamer or a chocolate pot. You can see that it is missing the lid, but I just liked the style of this. There is a small amount of crazing on the side. You'll often find that with old pieces of glassware, porcelain, or pottery. I decided to pick this up. I am going to list it to see if it will sell. I think this would make a really nice decorative item or even a little vase to put flowers in. And this is marked Limoges, France. I only paid $2.99 for this. If it doesn't sell, I'll find another use for it. I may use it as a decorative item in my own home, redonate it to the thrift store, or gift it to a friend. One thing that I really like about thrifting for clothing and accessories is if I list it on eBay and it sells, great. But if I've had it on there for a while and it hasn't sold, I usually donate it to a women's shelter or a homeless shelter where I know that the items will be put to good use. I feel like this was a pretty good thrift haul. If you enjoyed seeing the non-jewelry items that I thrifted, let me know in the comments and I will include that more often in my content. Also, let me know, drop me a comment letting me know, out of all the items I thrifted, jewelry and non-jewelry items, which items are your favorites and which are items that you would have purchased for yourself. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to share these items with me. If you haven't already, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications on more content about collecting vintage and antique items. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.